I first want to start and pay tribute to Cindy's father, her brother Tom, and her cousin Jeremy, who are obviously not with us tonight, but I know that they are looking down, smiling at you, not only for the woman you are today, but because your dream has truly come true. I've had the good fortune of knowing Cindy since 1991, and she is basically my sister. She's been with me through good times, bad times. We've had a lot of wonderful memories, and throughout this process of growing up and growing older, she's always said, I can't wait till I meet the one. I can't wait till I meet the one. And I, in my younger days, would be like, And as I got older, I would say, be patient, it will come, it will come. And life continued, and our friends got married, people had babies, and they grew older, and she would ask, when is my time gonna come? And I would say, it will come, just wait, don't push it, don't get too antsy, it will all come in due course, and the minute you stop looking, it will come. Yes. So then, throughout this process, she has dated various people, kissed some frogs. Some frog may be a compliment, but she's kissed frogs. And she would call me and say, when is my time gonna come? And I would say, let it happen. Finally, a couple years ago, I did it. I consulted Bean as well, similar to Paul. I did it through a psychic network, and Bean and I spoke. And Bean said she needs to be patient. About a year ago, she called me up and said, I think I met the one. And I said, okay. Is he available? She goes, yes. I go, is he not a snowboarder? And I was like, no. And they go, is he smart? Yes. And I go, okay, now we've got progress. So I flew up and met Dan about a year ago, and I knew right away he was the one for Cindy. He had this quiet demeanor about him, which, knowing Cindy, was perfect for him. And the way he looked at her, I knew then that he truly is the one for Cindy, because he looked at her with respect and endearing eyes. And so, with that said, I'm very, very happy for you both. Cindy, you're a very dear friend. You're the best. You're everything that, as a friend I could want. And I'm so very, very happy that your dreams have come true. And I'm glad to be part of this. Thank you very much for asking me. And to that, I would like to propose a toast to Dan and Cindy.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Denisa, and I've been best friends with Cindy for 34 years. And we're not that old, actually. Cindy and I met through a mutual friend when I joined Campfire, which is very similar to Girl Scouts, and we were about 12 years old. I wasn't too excited about the uniform or the organized activities, but I sure had a great time with my new hilarious friend, Cindy. As we got closer during our campfire days, I mentioned to her, I was like, hey, do you notice that only the blondes get to do all the cooking? And the dark hair girls are always cleaning up?
You said the brown girls.
Okay, well, the brown girls are always cleaning up. And so this thought stuck in her head. And so we became closer throughout the years. And we were supposed to go on a donkey backpacking trip for Campfire, and she called me the morning of, and she's like, hey, are you going? I'm like, no, are you not going? She's like, well, then I'm not going either. From that point on, I knew that our friendship would last forever and it'd be rock solid. So we didn't, right?
Yeah, and you called them racist.
Oh, did I call them racist? God, I was so young. I didn't know these. I was 12. So obviously we've grown up together because we've known each other since we were 12, and we've each kind of gone our own direction through life. And I got married, I've had my children, and during that whole time, Cindy and I kept coming together. We deeply love each other's families, and her family is my family, and my family is her family. And, right? Yep. And so that kept us coming together, our raunchy sense of humor.
We think we're really funny.
We think we're hilarious.
Yeah.
And our unconditional love for each other. And during this whole time, as I had been married and I had my own children, I would just pray, actually pray, that Cindy met somebody who was worthy of her intelligence, her quick wit, and her giving heart. So once she loves you, she loves you. And along came Dan. And when we had the opportunity to meet Dan, it was kind of like how Wyatt said. I had met Dan 2 weeks after they had started dating.
1 week.
Oh, it was only 1 week?
5 weeks.
5 days. Wow. Wow, it was 6 days.
6 days.
Okay, but when she walked in with Dan, I couldn't believe he acted like he was with her forever. I mean, he was so attentive and affectionate with her. And I don't think she knew what to do with herself because she's never had somebody treat her this kindly before. And, right? Yeah. And I was just in awe of how sweet and tender he was with her. And we got to know him through that time at a family party when we were there, and Cindy kept asking, so what do you guys think? What do you guys think? And we're like, he seems like a great guy. Don't blow it.
Don't fuck it up, is what she
Okay, so I said, don't fuck it up.
That whole table over there said don't fuck it up.
I was trying to be kind.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's a classy affair.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And so as the evening went on, Dan just fit so comfortably with my family. And by the time that he left, I was offering him to come back in 2 months for tamales at Christmas. And he left now with my children and cousins calling him Tio Dan. And that was just the first meeting that we've had. And
They did not consult with me about him coming for Christmas, nor the title.
we love the title because we love our Tio Dan. And not only am I so happy that finally Cindy found her happiness and this wonderful man to share her life with, I'm happy Bean has a dad. He was a single mom for a long time, so they finally have this beautiful little family, and that's what I'd like to toast to tonight, is to the new little Fitzpatrick family. Cheers. Cheers. I love you. I love you. Long time coming.
So, 17 years ago, when I met Dan, I can tell you I didn't expect that I would be at a wedding at a fancy golf course like this. And I know it is an incredibly beautiful wedding, probably the most beautiful wedding that I've ever been to. And I'm incredibly honored to be here. And there was obviously a lot of planning and coordination and attention to detail, and I would assume that mostly came from Dan. You know, it's been a pleasure meeting Cindy's family and friends, and Cindy, you look stunningly beautiful. And you really did do a great job in this wedding, and I think that the work and attention to detail and dedication that you put into planning this wedding is an absolute testament to the work and the dedication and commitment that you're going to have in your marriage. And I think that this is an incredible symbol of that, and I think it's important to remember that. As I said, I've known Dan for 17 years. I met him at Pete's Coffee 17 years ago, and I actually helped Dan move into Cindy's house. Hey, pal. Yeah. It just. I helped Dan move into Cindy's house under incredibly suspicious circumstances, in that Cindy was out of town, and I kept waiting out of the country. I kept waiting for her to come home or somebody to come home and be like, what the hell are you guys doing? And then afterwards I thought, well, good move, Dan, because how else were you going to get a move in? So I know I'm supposed to get up here and make fun of Dan, but tonight I actually want to speak from the heart a little bit because amongst our friends, we mostly make fun of each other. So we spend plenty of time doing that. You are in a room full of people who absolutely love you. And you've chosen wonderful people to be at your wedding, and you've chosen wonderful people to be in your wedding. And you always have this moment, and you always have these moments, so don't let it go. Dan, I'm so proud to call you my friend. And you could ask any one of the people at this table, and they would say the same thing. That you are kind-hearted, that you are loving. And Cindy, I know that's what you found in a husband. And I know that's why you've chosen Dan. And so I know you must already know all of that about Dan. I took notes on my son's construction paper, so. It is one of the blessings of having old friends, and I mean old friends like Dan, that you have known each other at different stages in life. So we've been real dumb together. We drank our fair share of beers. We've hung out together. We've celebrated and we mourned. But I'll tell you, the moment I knew Dan had found the love of his life was actually at a rather unique moment on Clement Street when Dan had a dog bag in his hand and was talking to Little Bean and saying, do you need to wee-wee or poo-poo? And he wasn't being sarcastic. So tonight, Dan gets to go home with a wonderful bride with all of the qualities that you would want in a partner. And tonight, Cindy gets to go home with a wonderful dog with all of the qualities that you would want in a dog. So let's toast to the best decision that Dan's ever made. May you never forget this wonderful day. May your glass always be full, except for right now. Cheers.
Hi, guys. Just want to thank all of you for coming tonight, being here for us, showing us your love and gratitude. Thank you all. We love you all. I want to thank my family, my dad, my stepmom came, my mom, my sister, my brother-in-law, my new niece, Penelope. They are all here. Thank you for being here. I love you all. I want to thank all my friends. I want to thank my groomsmen. These guys here, they made the last couple of days a lot easier for me. They made it a lot of fun, like a lot of joking around, a lot of fun. And also want to thank the people here at this wonderful venue for putting this on for us, giving us all this delicious food and drink and making this night possible for all of us. And I want to thank the Lum family. Thanks, Cindy. I want to thank the Lum family for welcoming me into their family, their homes, their lives, and letting me be a part of their family now. Thank you all. Thank you all. And for all the Lums who can't be here, who are here in spirit, who I'm not able to meet in person, but they're here in spirit. Thank you for them too. And last but not least, thank you to Cindy, my beautiful wife. Thank you for putting up with all of my crap. And loving me, and she brought me into her home, and she let me be Bean's dog daddy. So, and thank you, Cindy. I love you very much.
You all need a drink for this. This may be 4 pages. Okay. So, may have freaked out earlier this week on Facebook about the weather. Okay. So anyway, everyone reminded me to stay present and take in every moment of today. And as I look out at all of you, I see friends from all chapters of our lives and family that we both hold so dear. I wanted to personally thank Dan's family, Rosemary, Michael, Jan, Amy, Troy, Penelope, for accepting me into your family. I want to thank all of Dan's friends who welcomed me into your circle with open arms and for making Dan feel so loved. And for explaining to me what hardcore Dan meant. Which at first I thought was porn. It's not. So, okay. So, it's where my mind goes. So, and I have to thank my wonderful friends. Yeah! From my childhood, college, snowboarding, video game days, and just crossing paths. You mean the world to me, and have each left an imprint on my heart and soul. It means so much to see all of you here today, and for the love and wishes friends have sent from across miles and oceans who are not able to be here today. Page 2. And my family, my beautiful, wonderful, crazy-making family. Thank you for always loving me, even when I may be mad, screaming, or choking you out, only on occasion. You'll always be my foundation, my priority, my world. I don't always have the opportunity or courage to say it, but I love you all. And that now includes you, Dan. For as much as I'm a Fitzpatrick now, you are alum. And as we all know what it means in our family, blood in, blood out. That's right. Cross said, blood in, blood out. All right. I also wanted to take this opportunity to thank the most important woman in my life, my mom. Melam. I've always been a mama's girl, and I've always been her baby. The strength, devotion, and kindness has been an inspiration to me. She's the woman who has bailed me out, and on rare occasions, literally, once, and only once, never again, listened and soothed my fears, but I have Pat, he's a public defender now, yeah, thanks, Pat. She's listened and soothed my fears and loved me despite my faults. And as Paul mentioned earlier, and as you may have seen, the luminarias out front, I cannot go on without mentioning the important people in my life who are not able to be here tonight, but whose love lives on through us. My dad, Daddy, my brother Tom, and my nephew Jeremy. I can't deny that I don't believe that they had a hand in ushering Dan into my life. And I also can't deny how every day I wish I could see and hug and hear their laughter again. And with that, I honor Alice Umberlin as well, and Jim Sluss, two important people who touched my life in so many ways growing. Anyway, lastly, on a positive note, kind of, yeah. Lastly, I was hoping that I could ask for a favor of all of you out there. There are several people who aren't able to be here today because either their loved ones or they themselves are going to battle with some nasty challenges. So if I could ask you all to please send a thought, a prayer, or healing energy out at one time, I know it would help, and I'd appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, thank you all. And now, to close this long thank you, I'd like to raise a glass to all of you for your love, support, and impact you've had on our lives. Here's to all of you.